at Hotel. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women. I shouldn't just say that, and men. It's now the network for melanated people just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our broadcast today. We're so pleased that you have joined us. I am excited about our topic today as we get into the deceased Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the deceased former Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Of course, many of you are already aware of the fact that she has passed some days ago. In fact, Friday, I broke the news live that former justice jurist Ruth Bader Ginsburg had passed away. But we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the fact that what that means for Black people. Somebody talk Black to me. You don't want to miss this. As you come in, please come in giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. A little bit of housekeeping. I want you to know that you can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Also, we do have a store where you can get all kinds of goodies at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. Yes. And we have a school, a business school at flynubianbusiness.com, flynubianbusiness.com. We're so very important, beloved, that we let you know these things because we give you actionable information here on the Vicki Show. Black economic empowerment is very important, even in light of the conversation that we're going to be having today about former Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Now, without further ado, I want to get right on into the topic. Instagram, I want you to come on over to FlyNubianQueenTV.com because I'm going to need to use this device. Please, dear family, just really quick, I want you to know that we're looking for more Fly Nubian Queens. Oh, it is so exciting. It is so exciting because to have a diverse voice for Black women, elevating our voices for such a time as this, especially with the need of Black representation, us speaking for ourselves in this time. What an amazing opportunity. If you are interested, please reach out to us at producer@flynubianmedia.com. That's producer@flynubianmedia.com. Thank you so very much. Now, let me start with this. You know that my commentary is interdimensional and not merely limited to just, American politics, social issues, and things that are just pertaining to planet Earth. I don't mind people everybody not getting that and not understanding that. I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. I'm not for everybody, but that's not going to stop me that's not going to stop me from doing what I know that I'm called to do and why I've been sent and deployed to planet Earth. Somebody talk Black to me. In light of the recent death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, it's very interesting that the Vicki Show, from its incipiency, from its beginning, has always utilized the gavel as a sign and a wonder to Black power. God, today. I was not waiting for America or anybody outside of myself to, amen, confirm and validate the authority that we were born with on our planet. Somebody talk black to me. I said, whose planet is it, family? We've been kind enough to share it with the other peoples on our planet. It's not by accident, the gavel. And for those of you that are part of my mastermind class, or those of you that have attended my first angel course, a course on angels. By the way, I have another one coming up. The first Saturday of October is going to be called Angels Unleashed. Absolutely amazing. You all know the story of the gavel when I was given this revelation years and years and years ago. I want you to always have that image in your conscious and subconscious mind, because I want you to be very clear where true authority, true power comes from. It is not, beloved, from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, even though we built that guy today. It does not come from some other capital or some other form of government. What makes the world go round is the original people on the planet. And you've not recognized your powers. You didn't know that. But I'll go further in just a moment. Many of you will say when you come in, the Honorable Vicki Dillard, and I just find that so cute. Sometimes you hear me say, all rise. And sometimes you will hear me refer to our gathering as me holding court. Is that right, family? That's important to understand. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, my personal experience in light of this, the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I want to be clear. I don't have to be disrespectful, whatever that means, or say anything that some might consider to be distasteful in light of her passing. I will just simply say, as a lady and as a civilized woman, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. And that's about all I'm going to say about that. Now that we've gotten that out the way and you understand this is not about being disrespectful to this individual person, this is still about the war of the gods. This is still about the anti-Black war. This is still about the new world that's on the horizon. Now listen, all rise. All rise. You may be seated. Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been hailed throughout mainstream media as some kind of lionized jurist. She was also known as the notorious RBG. Now, when she passed Friday, I told you guys that I had planned on talking about this, and then I also tweeted about it over the weekend that this was going to be one of my topics this week. You understand that the notorious RBG is them giving this white supremacist woman a moniker, rather an appellation that we attach to our dear brother and legend. Biggie Smalls. How many of you all know that, right? Don't think that's not important. How many conversations have I had with you guys about the power of hip hop? Somebody talk black to me. Y'all not catching it. Y'all missing it. I regularly speak to you about how our open enemy has weaponized every single thing, including music. Ask yourself, how is it that they allowed her to co-opt a title to one of our Black legends, to a lady that sits on the highest court in the land? Somebody Black, talk Black to me. I don't know if you connected those dots. I said power lies with us, and I've prophesied to you for a long time now, told you in advance that power in this season is coming from the ground up. Those of us that they consider to be nobodies. Those of us that are born in a manger. There is an energy. There is a power that comes with Blackness that cannot be found like that from anybody else. When you are the pattern for every other man and woman, and when you're the creator of the planet and so much more, I can't tell you what else we're the creator of, because that might be too much for y'all right now. It's enough for me to regularly say, whose planet is this? There's an energy that comes with our swag and our creativity. When we move, our force field moves other things, and stuff has to adjust to accommodate our assignment. And because we did not know that we were exerting such force and that we were having such influence on people, places, and things near and far in every area of people activity, your open enemy recognized it and co-opted it. God, today. Pimped it, polluted it, redirected it, exploited it, controlled it for their own purpose. And so here you've got this white lady this old white lady who is considered to be fragile, demure, harmless, intelligent, a legal scholar, a judicial revolutionary to some. And so your open enemy took liberties, entitled her the notorious RBG. It is not to be so, and I have a problem with that. I'm just pointing that out as just a tidbit. You understand now that your Democrats and your Republicans are now involved in all-out war on a whole other level, not just with the presidency, right? But with this Supreme Court justice vacancy. Mitch McConnell, the Senate leader of the Republican Party, is willing to throw under the bus some of his Republican senators. Mitch McConnell is even willing to risk the presidency. I'm going to need y'all to listen. He's willing to chance that. He's willing to give up a couple of the vulnerable Republican seats for the Supreme Court, for this fight. Why? Because when you study the history of Congress, and this is a point that very few have pointed this out. I don't think anybody in mainstream media has mentioned this. He knows that it may cost him the Senate even, barely. I'm not saying it will, but I'm just saying he knows that it may. But we know that after a couple of years, history shows us that it's likely that the Senate will turn right back around and flip. But he knows that the appointments of the Supreme Court and even other federal judges are lifetime appointments. And so your bones and biscuits and your Democratic folk have told you, Black family, this is all the more reason you need to get out to vote, because of all of these judges that they're installing, because of these young judges that they're putting in place, how long those particular judges can be in their position. Somebody talk Black to me. Let me tell you something. They're using that to scare you into yet another reason why you need to get out there and vote without reparations. Watch this. It's interesting that Mitch McConnell would be willing to risk the presidency, and Mitch McConnell would be willing to risk even control of the Senate for a couple of years after this, because he knows that the tendency is that Congress will flip back into their control. But not only that, he would have been successful in installing a whole lot of judges. Why is that important? Because your judges and the judiciary are able to flex and control and maintain white supremacy in a more direct and long-term way than the presidency ever could. There is no area as it relates to law and the judiciary or the courts that doesn't affect every area of your life, whether you were born, from your birth certificate, and the process of that, to your death certificate, your property, your marriage, businesses, partnerships, property, your health. There's not an area where the judiciary, law doesn't come into play. Instagram, I'm going to need to use this device, so get ready to come on over. It's getting ready to get gooder and gooder, not better and better or greater and greater, but gooder and gooder. Come on over to flynubianqueentv.com. Thank you so much. By the way, family, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. You can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard, and I would love to see you there because I'm always posting stuff, some inspirational stuff, video clips, and I'm updating you in a way I'm able to do there that I can't necessarily hear. So anyway, follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Give me just a second to finish posting this there. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard and on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. Please hit that thumbs up button if you're watching us on one of our YouTube platforms. If you're watching us on one of our other platforms where the show is re-aired, please like, please share, please follow, and please engage on the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you so very much for allowing me to do that. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And then when you hit notifications, be sure that you hit the receive all notifications so that you're notified that not only when I go live, but also when one of the other queens go live, when they send out notifications or when their content is uploaded. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Now, let me get on into this Washington Post piece. Everybody's crying, including some of Black people, specifically some Black women, hailing Ruth Bader Ginsburg as some feminist savior and, you know, as I mentioned before, lionizing her as some important and special jurist. talking about how she didn't just, she stood up for the rights of all kinds of groups and all kinds of people. Watch this. Somebody talk black to me. But before you go getting carried away, black family, which we have a tendency to do, because some of you have a sick love for your open enemy, and Vicky is going to always disabuse you of the fallacies and lies that are associated with your open enemy. And I'm going to always try to jolt you out of your sick white supremacist, hypnotized, trans state. I'm always trying to pull you back and make you come to yourself. Now, before you go get carried away talking about how amazing she was and how you're getting emotional and stuff because you see this little face. It's what I told everybody when I posted this afternoon. Look at that little face. Again, I'm not here to be disrespectful of the dead, but I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to teach you about yourself. I'm exposing something in us. Don't get carried away now. Some of y'all go and see this old white woman and you go, your spirit, your little subconscious go to thinking, is that Miss Ann? You're trembling right now. The inner bones and biscuits in you, the inner the help, the inner Sambo is shaking and quivering right now. You're having withdrawals, like strong, hard withdrawals. And just like you try to stop someone that's addicted to methamphetamines, which happens to be in the Caucasian community mostly, or if one of our own happened to be addicted to the crack cocaine that the United States government brought to us, or heroin that the U.S. government brought and flooded into our community. Somebody talk black to me. Before you go having a withdrawal and getting ready to turn back on all of your success of being clean for a long time. Some of you all have been clean on Miss Ann for a few months and some months and Sundays now. Some of you all have been clean with Miss Ann. You hadn't had a relapse. But some of you right now during the death, when they announced this phase, when you start seeing them, these pictures go around, some of y'all started to have withdrawals, shaking hard and stuff, screaming out, and I can hear you in my spirit saying, I'm about to go back. I'm about to relapse. Your relapse was you getting ready to tweet something crazy. You was about to post something. You was about to say what a revolutionary she was. You was about to say, okay, I ain't gonna worry about reparations this time. I will go show up to the post because she's out now and I'm scared again. Or you go running back to it and squeezing her real hard and crying and carrying on. I'm here to snap you back and say, don't you do it. I'm here to save your life before you throw it all away for your open enemy who raped, robbed, sodomized, stole from you, and means you no good. Before you go give it all up for nothing. Somebody say, thank God for Vicky. I'm doing the Lord's work right now. I'm doing the Lord's work. Save your life. I picked y'all up in the realm of the spirit. I'm here for an intervention for you. You saw this face and it was over with. So let me be clear. I posted the deceased Ruth Bader Ginsburg was an anti-black jurist. I said on here, don't let this face fool you. I said, I'll hold court today. Now, don't you ever forget, because I'm a black woman, and so are you, my dear sisters. You're the original black man, brothers. Don't you ever forget this is our planet, and we are the true Ancient of Days. The avatar, the body, the temple that we're in now is not how you calculate the extension of your existence. God, today, we have no birth records. Somebody talk black to me. I said we have no birth records. So that means that this 87-year-old woman is my child. I'm your mama. Keep it in perspective. That'll help you not to go crazy. Now that I've put that out the way, You've got right now your Democrats trying to scare you to death to vote because they're really for real concerned about the additional right-winger that's going to very likely be picked by the Republican Party and very likely be installed. Watch this. They're considered to be the ultimate court. I'm here to tell you to fear not. And I'm still here to tell you Democrats that are watching and you other secret leaders that are watching the Vicky show, secretly watching the show. I'm here to tell you, you still better cut the check. Somebody talk black to me. I'm still here to tell you and demand, black family, that you hold the line and don't be tricked. This does not move us. Why are we talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Let me just do my disclaimers. The thoughts and opinions that are expressed by me may not necessarily be those of FlyNubianQueenTV.com or our affiliates, but they are my own. I'm going to play you a bit of audio from an interview that this one Ruth Bader Ginsburg did some years ago with a Katie Couric. And then we're going to go further here in just a moment. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. We ask that you do that because it helps to draw other folk into the broadcast. And how many of you all know that when you do that, you elevate the Black voice? We're using alternative media. And we are, yes, here on social media platforms because this is where you are. We have our own at blackenough.com, which is our own Black social media platform and app. So we want you to connect with that as well, blackenough.com. I also know of several other Black platforms. We also have our own website at flynubianqueen.com. But we're also on other social media platforms in order for us to leverage and to reach as many of our people as possible. Somebody talk black to me. So we want you to connect with us there, flynubianqueen.com, our website, as well as blagenough.com. The link will be in the chat. It's a play on the word black enough, but it's blagenough.com, where it's like a Facebook, a social media outlet for Black folk, Black owned. Shout out to Dr. Boris Watkins, who had the foresight to do that some years ago. Now listen. Matters of justice, dear family, are the prerogatives of the gods. Matters of justice are the prerogatives of the gods. What do you mean, Vicky? Justice is the principle of fair dealing. Yes. Did you hear what I said? Justice is the principle of fair dealing. When you think about justice, the word justice, its root has to do with what is what? Just. Justice is the quality of being fair, which is what I was talking about a minute ago, the principle of fair dealing, of being just, of being right. But justice is also conformity to this principle or ideal. Watch this, of righteousness or what's right. Are you hearing me? Justice, another definition of justice, is about conformity to truth, to fact, or to reason. It's about correctness. Why are you giving us this definition of justice? Because this has to do with law. This has to do with your jurists. This has to do with your judges. Listen, I just told you that justice has to do with the what? It's the providence. It's the prerogatives of the gods. Listen, you know, when you're listening to the Vicky show, I'm not just calling when I'm talking about the creator or the most high. I'm not saying that the word God is the formal name for the Most High. When I'm using the word God, God means one with force and power, which means that you're also a God, little g, one with force and power. Are you hearing me? But the Most High is the creator of justice, of truth, of correctness, of righteousness. When you're dealing also along the line of justice and righteousness, you have to bring in a thing called nature. Somebody say nature. When you're living in harmony, when you're living within the nature of how you're created, how you're meant to be. So when you're dealing with justice, when you're dealing with righteousness, when you're dealing with judgment, you got to go to the gods if you plan on getting it right. But Black family, we know all too well that most of the judges that are in the courts today are white men and a few white women. And if you watch the Vicky show on a consistent basis, you understand that I have expressed to you, and I remind you that a part of the job that I've been doing in my own small way is constantly revealing 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 man. Who is that, family? The scriptures say in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, listen, verse 3, it says, let no one deceive you in any way, for that day will not come unless the rebellion comes first and the man of lawlessness. Somebody please put the word lawlessness in the chat. I wonder where my spiritually intelligent Black folk are. Are you seeing the connection of me connecting the word lawlessness with this jurist God today and this fight for the Supreme Court? And me invoking the necessity of the essence of the God that must be at work now. Somebody say lawlessness. It says that they will not come. What? Unless the rebellion comes first and the man of lawlessness is revealed. What kind of man? There's another translation that says, the King James says, a man of sin, which sin is about missing the mark. Watch this. But the man of lawlessness, right? The son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship, so that he takes his seat in the temple of God, that who takes his seat. Let me help you understand something. The scriptures are the ones that set the pattern for the original court. Even in Eden, you saw the workings of a court going down. Y'all better listen to me. Don't be distracted. Listen. I ain't no YouTuber. I said I'm not a YouTuber. What's happening? The death of Judge of Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Baby, I'm born for this. I told you I'm getting ready to get personal with you. Some of you know I did a near 4-year stint in the belly of the beast and another 6 months in another form of federal custody when they shipped me back to Colorado. Some of you understand that I was an activist. Some of you understand that I was giving them hell in civil courts before I was dealing with a criminal case. So when I said, I'll rise and be seated and that I'm holding court, I know what I'm talking about. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. So you understand that this man and this woman of sin is being revealed, this son, this daughter of perdition, right? That's how they're styled in scripture. That's the titles that scripture gives them, is the man of lawlessness. But it is an appropriate term to use. And you are seeing all throughout the Trump administration in a way that you've never seen before, the man of lawlessness being revealed. But these are the people that you call your honor. God, today this is good. I ain't no YouTuber. The man and woman of sin that's styled in scripture as the man of rebellion and lawlessness is who you are calling your honor and who you are making your prayers to. When you study the word prayer is even connected to the courts, because it was also known in Old English as when you make a prayer to the court, meaning an address. And so when you would go to the court, and to this day, they tell the judge, if it pleases the court, Your Honor. And at times, when they even end complaints, they say, as a litigant, it is my prayer. Y'all play too much. I know you may not have known this. Oh, but Vicky, I use the word prayer when it comes down to spirituality. I'm trying to help you understand what this fight is about and who's really controlling it. And let me tell you, black man, let me tell you, black woman, it ain't no Mitch it ain't Donald Trump. It looks like white folks are running stuff. But I told you where power is coming in this season, and those that are listening to me, and they are. Be seated. Now that you are listening, this man of lawlessness, who's not only, the scripture says, is against nature, they're rebellious. It's not about spiritual terms and just about certain rules and regulations that this person over here wants you to abide by. No. The reason we have to make so many laws is because your nature is off. When you're aligned and in harmony with the planet that you're on, you don't have to have all these rules and regulations that tells you every single thing you got to do and how you need to park and how many inches and how much money is this before they consider this to be this, that, and the third. And if you go into, and if you try to rob somebody, it's a certain rule for if you use a firearm. It's a certain rule if you just make the threat. It's a certain rule if you do this. It's a certain rule if you do that. And some of you have probably been wondering, scratching your head, what in the world? How is it that the books are so thick? How is it there's so many volumes? It's because you are the man of lawlessness. We gotta regulate every little thing because it's not your nature. God, today. I know Rachel Matter, I ain't gonna give it to you like this. Joy Reid ain't. I know some of you guys think I'm crazy. Please flip, because there are other queens that's on this amazing network that you can listen to. I want you to tune in, but I don't beg. I ain't for everybody. I'm only for the effective people. I'm about an elite group. And if I'm swinging my curly braids that you confuse with a European hairstyle, I'm the black woman. Just let me throw that out there. Go talking about making judgments and rulings. I'm the black woman. My hairstyle is the original styles. And besides, even if it wasn't, if I'm wearing it, it's black, baby. Somebody talk black to me. Just put that in your spirits. If I'm wearing it, today is an African black style because I'm wearing it. It's our planet. We set the pattern for stuff. And the other little hairstyles that you're talking about, all y'all came from us. Sit down, please. Just thought I would throw that out there, slowness. And it's only men that don't have women that say stuff like that. I just thought I would just say that in it too, by the way. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and share. But that's not the only way. That's not the only thing we need to keep in mind about the people that you are calling your honor. About the people that you make your prayer to, that you give your complaint to, that you expect to settle your disputes and make decisions, that you are bound and compelled to behave. You're bound and compelled by certain laws and rules that come out of the courts. Are you hearing me? That means it's not discretionary for you. You got to do it. Watch this. The other thing that I want you to keep in mind that's written about these individuals that you're calling your honor to, Revelation chapter 8, verse 44. The Jesus of 2,000 years ago says, you belong to your father, the devil. I know y'all didn't expect me to talk like this about the death of a Supreme Court justice, but I'm getting ready to show you something because I'm getting ready to get personal with you. I got to tell you my story. And I'm still not going to give you all the names yet. Stay tuned for that coming in the very near future. John chapter 8, verse 44 says, you belong to your father, the devil. I'm not calling you that. I'm reading you what the scriptures say. I'm just talking about what the scriptures say. We're talking about the principle. You belong to your father, the devil. And you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to truth. Y'all hear that term again? Not holding to truth. For there is no truth in him. But who you're calling your honor, God, today, members of the dominant society who mean us no good. They're not only the 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 individuals who are the man and the woman of lawlessness that you are going to settle your disputes that you call the law. Some of you call the law. But these are also the individuals that John chapter 8 verse 44 calls what? Individuals that don't hold to the truth. God, today. For there is no truth in them. When he lies, I'm trying to help you understand why you can't get justice and why this Ruth Bader Ginsburg opens up a tremendous door for me to expose America's judicial system. Listen. When he lies, he speaks his native tongue. For he is a liar. What else? And the father of lies. So when you go to these judges expecting that they're going to see the truth and make a judgment based on the truth, are y'all hearing me? You got to know that you're talking to a liar. A liar who the scripture says there's no truth in them. And 2 Thessalonians tells you that they are what? The man and the woman of lawlessness. I call to the stand now. Judge. Yes, yes. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Don't get fooled by the face. Judge. Oh, they've called her revolutionary. She stands up for the rights of all people. Notorious RBG. Called to the stand in Vicky's court. Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Do you promise to tell? Y'all play too much. Do you promise to tell the truth? Watch this. Do you promise to tell the truth? The whole truth? And nothing but the truth?
How ridiculous.
Do you promise to do that? Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Liar? Woman of sin? I won't show you the actual video, but I want you to listen to some of the audio. This is this is what you're listening to now. She's in an interview with Katie Couric. This particular piece was published in 2016. Again, I've already read the Copyright Act, but I'm not going to show you the video, but I want you to listen to some of the audio as you keep giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Don't forget, dear family, that we're looking for more queens. Reach out to us at producer@flynubianmedia.com. That's flynubianmedia.com. Don't forget that we also have a business school at flynubianbusiness.com, and follow me on Instagram. This is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, you guys. A few years ago, sitting down with one Katie Couric. Please listen. She's being asked a question, just so you know the context, because I'm not going to let you listen to this whole, this entire catastrophe, travesty of this interview. I won't subject you to that because that's not right. And I'm scared, that I would do permanent damage if I made you listen to the whole thing. But this is Katie Couric asking her, before they go further, about her relationship with Antonin Scalia. Antonin Scalia was also on the Supreme Court, for those of you that don't know. He was a notorious racist, even though when I was locked up in prison, he actually gave a couple of surprising rulings related to prisoners. But that was him trying to clean up the everlasting mess he had already made, which was impossible. He really wasn't trying to clean it up. He was trying to give the appearance that he wasn't as racist as the whole world knew him to be, based on an outburst that he gave. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. But I'm gonna keep my commentary squarely on this judicial caring.
Yeah, that must have been quite a shock for you.
It was for everyone on the court, and I think for the legal world in general. My first reaction was, I was supposed to go first because I'm 3 years older than Justice Scalia.
I know that in your new book, My Own Words, which is a compilation of your writings and speeches through the years, you write about the man that you described as your best buddy. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Justice Scalia?
It goes back many.
The racist Antonin Scalia, how was she described as their friendship family? Katie Couric says she's described as what? Their relationship, her relationship with Antonin Scalia is described as what, dear family? I'm just trying to make sure that my intelligent Black people are, okay, y'all got it, you got it, you got it, you listening.
Yes, we were together on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. What I discovered about then Judge Scalia is, no matter how strongly we disagreed, he had an uncanny ability to make me smile, often laugh.
That's the powers of the races. Boy, those Karens, they just get turned up. He's taking the rights of Black folks. He's a hater of them, calling them rapists and keeping them behind bars, and it's the devil of all kinds of, but boy, he makes me laugh. Boy, he turns me on. Guy, oh, I tell you. I mean, he likes Chinese and I like Greek food, but other than that, it's just, whoa, this guy is just, I mean, isn't he just amazing? I mean, aside from the racist and all that.
He had a marvelous sense of humor.
Marvelous.
And he took opinion writing as a craft. We both worked very hard at our written opinions. Our styles were quite different, but we tried to write opinions that other people could understand without having to read back. We tried to select the right word. So in caring about not only where we came out, but how we explained it, we were a lot alike. And
notice how she keeps saying we. You do understand that the justices, as they're called, have their own legal staff. You do know that, right? You do understand, dear family, they have their own chambers. God today. So when she constantly, I love you back, Oakland, I bless all of your gifts 1,000-fold. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. Listen. So when she keeps saying stuff like we, that is to let you know that they had an understanding and an agreement. They were colluding legally on certain opinions. And their conversation and the understanding that they had took place when they hung out at the opera, on the field, drinking, getting drunk, and at the restaurants, and hanging out at each other's homes. Shout out to you, Eric. You sound prophetic, just like the pastor Juanita Bynum. Well, thumbs up, keep liking and sharing.
Then both of us had a passion for opera.
And wine, I understand.
Good food and wine and family. We both cared about family.
So this racist, we got wine, the opera, and family. So much in common. To y'all's revolutionary. Legal.
Seems to me that you two were the personification of the notion that you can disagree with someone or have opposing views about an issue and still be respectful, friendly, and even loving towards each other.
Yes, you can disagree without being disagreeable. And Justice Scalia, when he was a new member of the court, he was exceedingly fond of Justice Brennan, who was described as a, quote, liberal. But Justice Brennan enormously enjoyed Justice Scalia's company. So yes, you can disagree, as Justice Scalia and I often did. I understood his position. I didn't agree with it, but I understood it.
President Obama nominated Merrick Garland, as you well know, to replace Justice Scalia, but he has not gotten a hearing in the Senate.
Y'all listen to this. I need y'all to understand this. I need you to hear this. This white lady, and don't you forget it, you slow Negroes that love the labels. I'm going to always bust you up on the labels. All of you that's getting caught up on the fact that she is a liberal. But she is white first. What's the big deal about Justice Antonin Scalia? I'm just going to give you one bit because I don't want to distract from who she is. But her relationship with him is very problematic. This is a piece from The Atlantic because I know about legal stuff from a different perspective, not because I'm a legal scholar or I'm trained to know the details of that. No, it's not the case. But I've been in numerous courts. I filed numerous briefs. Some of the stuff I didn't even always know what I was doing, but I was before these judges. I sued some of them. I have direct experience from them. So my knowledge of the court system, beloved, is direct. And I'm giving you the spiritual perspective, and I'm letting you know what it's all about in this war of white supremacy. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Parenthetically, let me put this in here. This Atlantic piece puts in very clearly from 2011, piece written by Stuart Taylor Jr. In the Supreme Court, the piece is called Justice Scalia's Overheated Dissent. Just so you all know the background, there was a dissenting Justice Antonin Scalia's dire prediction on May 23rd by a 5-4 vote that the Supreme Court sort of ordered California to reduce its prison population of about 150,000 by 37,000 as a remedy for cruel and unusual denial of medical care to inmates. Calling Kamala Harris. I ain't got time to work that. Calling Kamala Harris. I don't have time to connect those dots. Kamala. Calling Kamala Harris. I ain't finna work that right now. Y'all play too much. For those of you that want to know why do you attack the black woman and all this, you slow, you know, it's okay. But just sit down and learn and then just draw some conclusions. I've been paying attention a long time. Before several attorneys generals of the United States, negotiating with them before they made that multi-billion-dollar deal with Wall Street after screwing us over. Calling Kamala Harris. Get back, Vicky. Justice Antonin Scalia. In other words, he was losing. He was on the losing side of the court's decision, a 5-4 decision. And he wrote a dissent, what's known as a dissent. So the losing side of the court, they have the right to dissent to the decision that the court ultimately goes with. Even though their position is not going to prevail, they have the right to make a dissent. The dissent can be useful down the road in other decisions if that particular thing is overturned, or they can use that other courts and also other legal minds for other cases similarly situated later on down the road. So if somebody else later on comes with a similar case, or they're trying another a case in the lower court, they can use that legal thinking that the dissenting judge made for other things. And like I said, that dissent can also be used later on down the road if that particular decision or case is overruled. Are y'all hearing me today? Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. Just so you know, in that particular case that I just referred to, in that 5-4 vote, the Supreme Court, it says, sort of ordered California to reduce its prison population of 150,000 by 37,000 as a remedy for cruel and unusual denial of medical care to inmates. I'm quoting Ruth Bader Ginsburg's best buddy, and for all I know, her side piece, the way she giggles when she thinks of him and tears up and gets emotional and stuff. This fella, he says, quote, terrible things are sure to happen, including many murders, robberies, and rapes. You can't get more racist than that. And he actually said it out loud. He said it out loud as a part of the dissent. Shout out to you, Doris Muhammad. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thumbs up, because I don't want to get off on that little fella. I'm going to keep it squarely on this white supremacist woman, this Miss Ann. Y'all know I believe in the Miss Anns, getting her, and the Karens, the judicial Karens, the legal Beckys. I thrive in this. I was born for this. So now the part of the questioning of the interview that I want you to listen to is when Katie Couric says, well, what about the fact that the Republicans are holding up President Barack Obama's Supreme Court pick of Merrick Garland? I want you to listen to what she says. Now, don't forget, this is supposed to be Merrick Garland is like they don't want to call him a liberal, but he was their liberal choice because they knew he would be a safe choice in his decisions, right? She wanted to know, okay, well, what are your thoughts about the fact that the Republicans are holding up the chance for the court, to basically get to balance the court and to make sure that they don't get a right winger on there? What are your thoughts about the Republicans holding it up? Listen to what she says. Let alone a vote.
What do you think of the Senate's refusal to act?
The Constitution gives the Senate the authority to say yea or nay to a nominee. And they've exercised that power from the very beginning. Ordinarily, the president would nominate, the Senate would react to the nomination. And take, in my nomination, for example, President Clinton nominated me on June 14, 1993, and I was confirmed by the Senate August 3rd. So that made it possible for me to be on board in good time before the new term started. I could prepare adequately for the upcoming cases. The senator could have put a hold on me and kept the confirmation into the fall, but they didn't. I think they all appreciated the value of the court starting out the term with a full house.
So do you believe the Senate is within its constitutional right to refuse to hold hearings?
Well, the Senate has the authority. How it should use it I mean, I don't know of another instance where the Senate had said simply, we won't hold a hearing.
No disrespect, but what is you mumbling about? Girl, what is you mumbling about? What she's mumbling about is she's on white supremacy code. She's not outraged, baby, about the fact that somebody else might come there that's Republican, that's not allegedly a liberal to help balance out the court. She ain't worried and moved by that. Her best bud, her BFF, her side piece is an open white supremacy. She ain't that bothered by it, baby. And she had to be pressed. But she's just mumbling and bumbling and carrying on. No disrespect, but you mumbling. And you ain't saying nothing. But is she? Listen, keep liking and sharing. I'm going to fast forward it because I told you I'm not going to torture you. Keep in mind the parts that I let you hear. Now I want you to listen to this. The Supreme Court Justice. What are your thoughts about Black men getting murdered and folk protesting? And what is this little sweet little octogenarian judicial Karen has to say?
Side.
Justice Ginsburg, how do you feel about San Francisco 49ers player Colin Kaepernick and other NFL players who have basically refused to stand for the national anthem?
What do I think? I think it's really dumb of them. Would I arrest them for doing it? No. I think it's dumb and disrespectful.
She thinks it's dumb and disrespectful. Now, you notice how she mumbled through every other question, and she was very thoughtful. She moved with great alacrity when she asked, what do you think about Black men resisting white supremacy and making it known to the world in a civil way without violence? Notice the slowness when she asked her in every other question. Notice how methodical she was. But notice how quickly she moved when it came down to Black men and murder and the order of white supremacy. Did you notice that? The judge was quick on her feet, wasn't she? That means that they have a made-up mind. That means that this is how she actually believes. Pay attention. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. I want you to listen again.
What do I think? I think it's really dumb of them. Would I arrest them for doing it? No. I think it's dumb and disrespectful. I would have the same answer if you asked me about flag burning. I said, I think it's a terrible thing to do, but I wouldn't lock a person up for doing it. I would point out how ridiculous it seems to me.
Listen to the words she's using during a time where Barack Obama is the president of the United States, and you're seeing back to back to back to back to back to back to back open Black murders being captured. You're seeing an explosion of white backlash. What is the backlash? White folks were mad that they elected a Black man, twice no less. Donald Trump is the backlash. The ultimate backlash for us putting into office. Y'all putting in office. I never voted for him. Y'all putting into office this Black man. But they were already manifesting signs of it by open murder. Are y'all listening? This disgusting white supremacist female who your open enemy intentionally uses to make them, they put their white woman out there because they're a more digestible form of white supremacy. What do you mamas do when you're transitioning your babies to eat more solid foods? What do you mamas do when you try to transition your babies off of milk and off of, what do you call it? What do you call it? The food that you give your babies in the beginning. When you're weaning your child, what is that food called? I don't know why the mamas can't tell me what's going on. Are there any mamas in the house? Similac formula. What do you do when you're trying to wean them and transition them? Somebody say, you mix it, okay? You mix it. So the way the white what the white supremacist does is they mix it, they wean you by the introduction of that white woman. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us last century that the white man's last trick, the white man's last trick is his woman, is the woman. What are they saying right now at her death? Donald Trump's team, the Republicans, they're really pushing the fact that he's going to nominate a woman. They want you to get excited because they know that if people hear the word woman, you're going to automatically let your guard down because they're a more digestible form of white supremacy, but they're also the most detrimental and dangerous form. Why are they the most detrimental and dangerous form? Because you're more likely to, first of all, be open to it, God, today, and complicit with it because you don't immediately recognize that that's what it is. When you don't recognize something for what it is, you won't resist it. Talk black to me. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't hit that thumbs up button, hit that like, share button. Hit that like, share button on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. So he puts his white woman out there. Makes you put your guard down. And it gives that white supremacist energy time to slip through. Somebody talk black to me. But listen to what this white supremacist female Karen said, that the Roland Martins of the world, that the Joy Reids are not going to talk about. They want you to overlook this in the same way they want you to overlook every single thing that Joe Biden did, in the same way they want you to overlook every single thing that Bill Clinton did, in the same way they want you to overlook every single thing that Hillary Rodham Clinton did, in the same way they're not even talking about George Bush like they should anymore. They got him dang near hero. That white supremacist international war criminal, they got you feeling. Michelle Obama, no less. That's why I stay on Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama's book. For those of you that says, oh, no, the only reason why she threw their own pastor under the bus is for political reasons, as if that's okay. That means you're not a principled person, but okay, let's pretend that's what it is. After they were well out of the White House, Michelle Obama, in her book, Becoming, that's why I've done many shows on her. She disrespects Reverend Jeremiah Wright in her book, Becoming, calling him basically a cranky old black man because of his position on white supremacy in America. And at the same time, while she was making her press runs for her book, she told the world in her press runs for her book that she and George Bush share similar values. Yeah. Can't nobody tell me nothing. And your bones and biscuits that know about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Thank you, Vaughn. You're encouraging my soul. He says, thank you, beloved. I bless your gift 1,000-fold in fantasy. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. And the many others, I apologize. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. Listen.
To do such an act. But it's dangerous to arrest people for conduct that is not doesn't jeopardize the health or well-being of other people. It's a symbol they're engaged in.
But when it comes to these football players, you may find their actions offensive.
Yes.
But what you're saying is it's within their rights to exercise those actions.
Watch Katie Couric, who is no angel, and she's recently said something disrespectful about Denzel Washington. Y'all know I had to give that Karen months back. Y'all remember that? Look it up. I ain't got time to show you. Look her up. Look up what Katie Couric's funny looking self tried to do about our black man Denzel Washington fairly recently, a few months ago. Katie realizes that this white supremacist Becky just outed herself. Katie Couric knew in the moment that she was saying those words how they were going to be perceived. So Katie, y'all give me, I don't do sports. What's the little analogy you call it? Katie was trying to throw her a pass to fix it. What y'all call that? Katie was trying to throw her, what is it when somebody screw up something on the field and you try to fix it? Katie was like, girl, you done messed up. You supposed to be the greatest minds. You supposed to be a justice. You supposed to be sagacious, judicious, intelligent. You're supposed to be an erudite. And you sitting out here just putting all your white supremacists out. You ain't being diplomatic with it. An interception. Thank you. Thumbs up. She was fumbling, wasn't she? Interference, assist. She was trying to do an interference and assist, interception. Y'all talk black to me. Curveball. She was trying to help the notorious RBG. Sit your disgusting. Hush, Vicky. She was trying to, somebody say audible. I don't even know what none of that is. What is an audible? She was trying to throw her a mulligan. Y'all said a mulligan and all. Katie was like, girl, you didn't, whoa. Katie was like, I thought you was a giant when it comes down to thinking. Katie was like, whoa. You a justice. I thought y'all brains was popping off like that. Somebody said lateral, whatever all that is. I trust that y'all not making up. I don't know what this means, but y'all saying lateral, interception. The girl was throwing her laterals, interceptions and stuff, trying to save her. She was like, fool, this is not a good look. They're going to be like, oh my God. This is the lady that if it goes to the Supreme Court, this is the ultimate decision. These are the minds behind the breach. This is the mind behind the case law. Somebody talk black to me. Katie was trying to help her fix that from one Karen to another. No, from one Karen to a Becky. Girl, we about to lose this game out here. Somebody said safety in the alley hoop. Yeah, all that, whatever that is. Devil's advocate. Okay, I'm not sure what none of that. Yeah, is that really for real athletic terms and sports terms? It may be. I don't know. Look, y'all know I told you I don't watch sports like that. It's like a terrorist attack almost. Watching that kind of stuff. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Y'all think I'm making this up. Katie was like, girl, this is that. No, whoa. So Katie was like, so what you're saying is they may have the right, but watch this. What is that girl calling? When she's fumbling the ball, she's screwing up. She's whatever you're doing to mess up your team from winning. That's what your intelligent Supreme Court justice is doing. Whatever you're doing to jeopardize the whole game, that's what this octogenarian was doing. That's mumbling through this interview. The mumbler. I'm gonna leave that alone. It just, my energy get like that when I go to thinking about how you dogging the black community. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have a lot of stuff. So she's fumbling, right? Somebody said an offensive rebound. Yeah, sabotage and stuff. Watch this. Listen again.
Tonight. But it's dangerous to arrest people.
Let's go back.
Side.
Justice Ginsburg, how do you feel about San Francisco 49ers player Colin Kaepernick?
I want y'all to put these particular words in the chat when I call them out.
And other NFL players who have basically refused to stand for the national anthem.
What do I think? I think it's really dumb of them.
But dumb?
Would I arrest them for doing it? No. I think it's dumb and disrespectful.
Dumb and disrespectful. Please pay attention to the language. When you are a jurist, they have to be top notch when it comes down to them writing decisions, family. They're very clever and they have to be very specific with the language. Pay attention to the words she's using. She ain't done though. This is your justice. This is your notorious RBG. I
would have the same answer if you asked me about flag burning. I think it's a terrible thing to do, but I wouldn't lock a person up for doing it. I would point out how ridiculous it seems to me.
Write the word ridiculous, please. Ridiculous. Remember, this witness is still on the stand. Remember, y'all might have forgotten. About 30, 40 minutes ago, I called Justice RGB to the stand. Dumb, disrespectful, ridiculous is what she said.
To do such an act.
Watch Katie.
But it's dangerous to arrest people for conduct that is not doesn't jeopardize the health or well-being of other people.
Look at Katie's face right here. This is a picture. This is a picture.
But when it comes to these football players, you may find their actions offensive.
Yes.
But what you're saying is it's within their rights to exercise.
Now you see how she's trying to fix that. What did y'all call that? An alley-oop? An interception? Interference? All of those words to fix this. Whatever you do on the court, the field and the court to fix stuff. This girl was trying to fix it. The Hail Marys and stuff. She was saying, okay, let me fix this dumb, disrespectful, and ridiculous. As a journalist, this is something I know how to do. So let's try to fix this real quick, right? She was signaling to this old Karen, girl, you putting it all the way out there. I guess when you get hit by 80, they don't even try to be diplomatic with their racism no more. God, today. But listen, thumbs up, like and share. Don't forget, family, that we have a store at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. And also, family, we're looking for more queens. If you're interested in becoming a Fly Nubian queen, reach out to us at producer@flynubianmedia.com. For those that are asking about my personal information, I trust that some of my moderators will put my information in there. I don't usually give that out loud. Thank you all so much that have blessed me privately, as well as those that are a blessing to the network. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. Thank you so very much. Listen.
Exercise those actions.
If they want to be stupid, there's no law that should be prevented. They want to.
What did you say? Katie was trying to get her to pull back a little bit and be a polite racist. Don't be rude with it. She used the word dumb, right? Disrespectful. Ridiculous. And then when the girl tried to throw her that interception, what did she do? She fumbled it, whatever y'all call it, right? Fumbled it. And she doubled down and she used another word, y'all. What did she say that time? Stupid. Somebody just said, time out, Ralph. Throw the flag, okay? Y'all help me with these things. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Somebody said, throw the flag, okay? So the girl done fumbled it through it, whatever y'all said. She handed the people the ball for the other team with the other uniform. She just walked the ball over there like, here you go. That's what she did, didn't she? This for you. I know that much of sports, that it ain't right to do that. I know if you got on a different uniform, if it's a ball involved, you don't supposed to give it to the other people. I know that much. Fumble. Somebody said fumble, foul, or whatever else. Listen. So what words, class, did she use so far to describe black men? Respectfully. Saying they're tired of white supremacy, they're tired of being murdered and killed. This white woman.
Be arrogant is no law that prevents them from that. What
that's not the only word. Hold on. Listen.
And so if you ask me about arrogant is no law that prevents them from.
How do you say?
So I think it's dangerous to arrest people for.
Yes, y'all saw it.
For conduct that.
Y'all caught it.
Not doesn't jeopardize the health or well-being of other people. It's a symbol they're engaged in.
But when it comes to these football players,
Listen,
you may find their actions offensive.
Yes,
But what you're saying is it's within their rights to exercise.
all that little old mumbler needed to do was say what? That's exactly right, Katie. Thank you for, yes, that's right. She didn't. After saying dumb, disrespectful, ridiculous, and injecting the word arrested, but saying that they should be arrested, but the idea that she would even invoke that at that moment, she repeatedly said that.
Those
yeah,
actions.
if they want to be stupid,
Wow.
there's no law that should be prevented. They want to be arrogant, there's no law that prevents them.
Y'all, I don't want to show you her picture, but when she's using those words, she's got her fists going. Girlfriend is energetic. So listen to what this white supremacist, so-called notorious RGB said. She says, dumb, disrespectful, ridiculous, stupid, arrogant. Two words that I want you to think about of the 5 is the word arrogant and disrespectful. She's mad that you Negroes are not respecting the order of white supremacy. Dumb, disrespect. So I need y'all to hashtag everybody. Dumb, disrespectful, ridiculous, stupid, arrogant. Put it in quotes. Put quote, dumb, disrespectful, ridiculous, stupid, arrogant, end quote, and then put dash, notorious RGB, and then tweet it and Instagram it and Facebook it out. And make sure you make it known that she's referring to Black men standing up for their lives. So do y'all think I give 2 red cents about a Karen in a court? Your Honor, if it pleases the court, the Honorable so-and-so. May I say something to you today? As you keep giving us a thumbs up, liking, and sharing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, family, at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. No, she doesn't have dementia. I'm not going to let you get away with that. She's in her right mind. She ain't never been more in her right mind. Don't give her, that's an out. No Black person should ever say that. She's all the way in her right mind. She meant what she said. Let me help you understand something. The Supreme Court, in its Dred Scott decision, how many of you all remember about Dred Scott? Some of you all may not realize that that's with the Supreme Court. How many of you all remember that? How many of y'all remember that? In the Dred Scott decision. How many of y'all remember that? Keep liking and sharing, family. I want to remind you of what your Supreme Court said in the Dred Scott versus Sanford case. Many of you have heard it before. Some of you remember studying about it, learning about it. But I want to remind you of your judicial history and why these courts are a joke. And I'm going to tell you about their end. Listen. My wife resigned from becoming a prosecutor this year because of RBG. Keeping talking black to my wife, Vicky. Oh, thank you, beloved. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Listen. In the Dred Scott versus Sanford case, also known as Dred Scott, y'all know that. That had to do with the Black slave who sued for his freedom. How many of y'all know about that? Dred Scott's argument was that because he had been brought into free territories, because he was brought, rather, into free territories, he could not be returned to the bonds of slavery. Over the course of 11 years, y'all, his case was litigated several times over and eventually wound its way into the United States Supreme Court. In March 6, 1857, what year? Chief Justice Roger Taney, Taney, issued what is widely regarded, allegedly, as the worst Supreme Court opinion ever. This is what white folks tell themselves to pretend like they ain't, they a just nation. He noted that the question before the court was whether African Americans are citizens of the United States and thus able to file suit in federal court. His analysis of the issue is couched in abjectly racist language. In the same way, so was hers. She didn't couch hers in diplomacy. She was all out in her right racist mind. Listen. African Americans had, for more than a century before, been regarded as beings of an inferior order. Who did I say saying this now? Who did I say said this? I said your Chief Justice. Be seated, white supremacists that's watching me, and some of you judicial folks that's working in these courts right now that's watching the Vicky show. I'll explain a bit more in a minute, family. We had for centuries been, African Americans is referring to, had for more than a century before been regarded as beings of an inferior order and altogether unfit to associate with the white race. And these are people that was just howling at the moon said this, okay? Vicky focus, Vicky focus, Vicky focus, Vicky focus. I'm sorry, that wasn't a part of the thing, but I'm just threw that in there parenthetically. Back to what the quote said. African Americans he's talking about had for more than a century been regarded as beings of an inferior order and altogether unfit to associate with the white race, either in social or political relations, and so far inferior that they had no rights which the white man was bound to respect. I'm gonna say it again. This country that we're demanding reparations from, that you bones and biscuits want us to wait. Your Chief Justice in the Supreme Court said this. Those of us blacks that have been altogether unfit to associate. Number one, he says we were beings of an inferior order. Beings of an inferior order. Beings of an inferior order. This is who I said? And altogether unfit to associate with the white race. We're unfit, the ones that you came, stole, raped, robbed, to build America, because you are unfit to do it. We have to get you up all our fours. We told you to get up off the ground. We told you to stop howling at the moon. We introduced you to civility, soap and water, education. But I digress. These are they who infected everybody with the coronavirus and so much more, a type of coronavirus and worse. Smallpox and everything else. Diseases that our immune system wasn't even built up for some of the stuff y'all introduced us to, because we didn't know nothing about all of that you was bringing us. You said to us. Who? Did I tell you all? Did I say this was your white supremacist? That's the trailer park, missing teeth, beer belly? Is that who said it? No, this was your Chief Justice. Taney said we were regarded as beings of an inferior order and altogether unfit to associate with the white race, either in social or political relations, and so far inferior that they had no rights which the white man was bound to respect, and that the Negro might justly and lawfully be reduced to slavery for his benefit. He was bought and sold and treated as an ordinary article of merchandise and traffic whenever a profit could be made by it. And you want to say, why don't Vicky is always dealing with these white supremacists? Why she's saying that we must end white supremacy. Don't you ever forget it. That a black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect, is what your Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States said. But keeping that in mind, these little important tidbits, Thurgood Marshall, the first Black Supreme Court Justice, who had even at one time openly disagreed, and to be honest with you, some would even say he was trying to mock and diminish other civil rights activists during that time because he really believed in the power of the law to change our condition. After he got behind enemy lines in the Supreme Court, did he leave the Supreme Court shucking and jiving and talking about what a wonderful institution it was? Before Thurgood, Thurgood Marshall was forced to leave because of his health. He was trying to hold on as long as he possibly could. And of course, when Clarence Thomas was the replacement for him. What did Thurgood Marshall, the first Black Supreme Court Justice, say when he left? Did he talk about what a wonderful thing that we come up and everybody should try to be? No, he said, and I want to actually quote Minister Farrakhan during an interview, but Minister Farrakhan said, while Minister Farrakhan was quoting Thurgood Marshall, I quote Thurgood Marshall all the time, but I would just want you to hear what Minister Farrakhan said during an interview one time about Black tyranny. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. I think I have it here. If not, I won't worry about it. Yes. In the Final Call newspaper from 2015, June 16, 2015, is called "The Time Has Arrived That the Tyranny Must End." And so it talks about the fact that this was edited excerpts from a Thursday, June 11, 2015 interview that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan conducted with Cliff Kelly, the host of WVON. Watch this. A part of the response that Minister Farrakhan made during this interview a few years ago, this is Minister Farrakhan, and I quote, "In the early 1950s, maybe the latter 1950s, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was in a controversial debate, but with pen and paper rather than over spoken words, with the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, J.B. Stoner. And the latter part of this debate," that's in quotes, "if you will, J.B. Stoner made this statement," quote, who are we talking about? Minister Farrakhan, he's recounting a type of debate that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had with who? The Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan by the name of J.B. Stoner, right? He called it a type of a debate because he used the Honorable Elijah Muhammad used pen and paper, right? Minister Farrakhan is quoted as saying that J.B. Stoner made this statement, quote, "We are going to give up wearing the hood and the garment of the Ku Klux Klan, but soon we will be in the police departments of America. We will be judges and we will be bankers." He goes on and says, "Everywhere you look, you will see the attitude of the Ku Klux Klan." And Thurgood Marshall was the first Black Supreme Court Justice. You all know I quote him all the time, but in this context, Minister Farrakhan quotes him as well and says, when Thurgood Marshall was the first Black Supreme Court Justice, before he left the Supreme Court, he said that the Ku Klux Klan used to wear white robes and hoods. Today they wear Black robes. The former Grand Wizard, J.B. Stoner, said, "We're going to give up wearing hood and the garment of the Ku Klux Klan, but soon we will be in the police departments of America. We will be judges. We will be bankers." Listen, give me just a few more minutes. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. This lady by the name of Lovey. How many of you all know who this lady named Lovey is? Luvvie. I don't want us to troll this woman, in any kind of a negative way. But a part of her bio says that she's a professional troublemaker. She has a book. She's an author of a book called I'm Judging You. Well, this Lovey lady blocked me on Instagram sometime long ago. I don't even know why these bones and biscuits, these people that's on TV and books and all these people that white people say are important and powerful, they don't like your sister that's black for some reason. I mean, they like me with the quickness. And so I don't know if I must have posted something. It was last year sometime. And I don't even know this lady like that. But anyway, she's an author and white people, go to her for stuff. And Lovey blocked me on Instagram. Proof of that right there. But neither here nor there. Whatever. My feelings ain't hurt. This word is powerful. I understand. Why are you bringing her up, Vicky? Well, because Lovey said something interesting. October 10th, 2016. Y'all know I don't play. This is her tweet. Y'all see that date up there? Lovey is the quote, hashtag professional troublemaker. October 10th, 2016, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg was getting that work for being openly racist. Not that she was racist, but the fact that she was openly racist. She was rude with her racism. Please understand, that's the only difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. Did you all notice today that Mitt Romney is out there talking about he's all down for them getting another conservative justice on the court? Y'all was just hailing Mitt Romney because y'all was excited that he was out there marching with Black Lives Matter with a mask on. Notice how white folks will give you no tangibles, Negro. But when it comes down to judges, when it comes down to power, they are on code. Y'all was excited because y'all was saying he the only Republican that's calling out Trump. He was out there with that mask talking about Black Lives Matter. But one of the first ones out there talking about he doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the Republicans are breaking their word and violating all kinds of protocols that they put in place. Watch this. See, that's you slow Negroes that don't want to get nothing. That's how white folks do it. They give you Negroes non-tangibles. They give you chicken and a march. They give you a parade. And they make you a mascot, slowness. And they maintain power. Pay attention. Well, Miss Lovey, after Ruth Bader Ginsburg got in trouble for being openly racist. I brought up Mitt Romney because I'm just trying to say the difference between y'all is that the parties, they're arguing over white supremacist tidbits. These are white supremacist pet peeves that they got about each other. The fight that they got is not about white supremacy. It's about how rude one side is as it relates to it. The Democrats is like, fool, we can get more goodies if y'all would just quit being so rude with it and so open with it. The fight that they have when they talking about abortion and they talk about little differences that the Democrats and Republicans are having in their fight for the Supreme Court. See, that ain't got nothing to do with you and your black needs. That has to do with white supremacist pet peeves that they got about each other. He put on a mask and said, Black Lives Matter. But then when it came down to power, white power, that is. I'm almost done. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. He on code. Watch this. Lovey, back to this Lovey lady. And y'all know I love my family from around the world. I'm on another network, has over 1 million subscribers on the African Diaspora News Channel. Reaching all kinds of black folks around the world. I'm reaching all kinds of folks here on Fly Nubian Queen, as well as the other places that our affiliates and associates are connected to, right? I'm grateful for that. Thank God. That's awesome. Listen. But some of you all that are coming over here that are immigrants or they have immigrant family, parentage. Your grandmamas and your mama and them and your granddaddies and stuff are immigrants. You guys, some of you all come over here and you start being a thorn in the side of those of us that are foundational Black Americans. You're not the kind of immigrants that the Honorable Marcus Garvey was. That's not you. Stop trying to take credit for that kind of revolution. That's the reason why they make sure that they check all y'all before you go here, because they're trying to make sure that they don't never have that issue again with an immigrant that comes here that's on code with us. Well, Lovey, she's got some immigrant family, and she said some stuff that has not been in the best interest of us, in my opinion. That's probably the reason why she blocked me, even though I don't remember saying nothing directly crazy to her. But listen to what she said. Lovey's tweet, October 10th, look, October 10th, 2016, about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, when she made these racist statements about our brothers. She says, I'm quoting her, "I'm judging the hell out of RGB for her Kaepernick stance, but I can't say she stops being someone I respect because of it. Still, nah, Ruth." Y'all play too much. I think y'all don't think she said it. Let me put it boldly so you can see it real good. Look at what this Bone and Biscuits, the help, just said. This is the reason why we give y'all this work. This is the reason why I called out you butter biscuits, because you are dangerous. You permit white supremacy to continue when you jump in the way of the target and try to save massa. Shout out to you, Fantasy, for your gifts. I'm going to read it again. Lovey, L-U-V-V-I-E, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg was being checked because of her open racism, Lovey, the black bootlick, the help mammy, came out and said, and I quote, "I'm judging the hell out of RBG for her Kaepernick stance, but I can't say she stops being someone I respect because of it. Still, nah, Ruth." Y'all are dangerous to our movement. And I'm going to say this and I'm done. I told you I was going to say something personal, didn't I? I told you I was going to say something personal about this legal stuff, didn't I? I want you to know, dear family, thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. Don't forget to go to our school, flynubianbusiness.com, if you're interested in building a Black business. And also you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. And also stay tuned, beloved, because tomorrow I'm doing my clubvicky.com. Go to clubvicky.com for my weekly mastermind. You can still join for $1. I believe it's still going for the first 30 days for $1. Clubvicky.com. Each week I'll drop a spiritual jewel. You have direct access to me there where I answer questions. You can ask questions, I answer them, but I also elaborate on the spiritual principle, the response, the testimonials have been amazing. I let them speak for themselves. So join us at clubvicky.com, clubvicky.com. You experience me in a different way there because I'm talking about spiritual and metaphysical stuff, and it has a very real world effect on your day-to-day life. I must say, listen. Some years ago, when I started filing certain lawsuits in courts, that wasn't my plan. But because I was a spiritual praying woman that was famous in the heavenlies, I was spiritual. I had spiritual weight on me and power that I didn't know I had. Until unbeknownst to me, I was pulled into a civil court situation. An unexpected one, a surprising one. And my only experience with the courts before then was in high school when I was a part of a mock trial. That was my only experience, mock trial in high school. Because at the time, my former partner and I and family member at the time we were losing everything. A lot of stuff was going on related to our properties, related to our business, and so many other things. I was fighting in court because I started to find out a lot of shady information, a lot of fraud, a lot of deceit on multiple levels. And as I learned one thing after another, I sought legal professional help from someone else. And because I ended up losing everything, I didn't have quite enough to pay some of them. And for those that I was coming up with money for, they told me that the people that I would be going after, they were intimidated by those that I was going to be going after. So they refused to even consider it. So if I couldn't pay for them to represent me for some, the others were scared to death. So I said to myself, you mean to tell me that if I can't buy justice, I can't get justice? And so because the legal language and the legal process was so overwhelming and really quite confusing, that I'm just supposed to sit here and just do absolutely nothing, just take it? I said, no, there's a God in me. So with very little information, I did as much research as I could at the time. But when you're dealing with stuff related to law, it can be overwhelming, and it's meant to be that way because they want to shut out the little man and the little woman. They make it complex, and they make you jump through a whole bunch of hoops, and they have a bunch of tricks to make sure that you never penetrate the court system. So I started filing some lawsuits little bit by little bit, and didn't even know all of it. I found that I knew 2 or 3 little pieces of important information, and I started working that information. And the reason I became such a problem, it wasn't because I was some law student. It was because the God was in my mouth and in my words, and they had weight, and it caused stuff to shift. I've had cases, lower courts, state court, federal court, and I've even written a few writs to the Supreme Court of the United States, which weren't successful. Y'all play too much. Don't play with me. Please don't. Just don't play with me. And the purpose of some of that I went through had to do with God putting me behind enemy lines. God today! And so I had one of the top federal judges intentionally violate my civil rights. I had what they considered to be one of the most respected federal judges defend an attorney that was court appointed, that did not deny the illegality he did, documents he allowed into my trial that were fraudulent and that was signed against my will, and that the jury came back with a complete conviction. My lily white jury, no black person. My attorney never denied that. He knew I had proof. But the judge, the white female judge, defended him and allowed me to be railroaded. She ain't the only one. I had another state judge, 2 different ones in 2 different instances. I won't say the name right now. Stay tuned. In a state court, I'll give you this little tidbit, in Arapahoe County. Y'all play too much. Don't play with me. After she ruled in favor of a Wall Street case, refusing the evidence that I had, because I thought the truth mattered. God today, I thought evidence and proof mattered. That ain't the case, baby. That ain't got nothing to do with court. This white woman because I could tell where the court was going with it. I didn't know God, y'all play too much. I didn't know this why God sent me to them places. I was exposing stuff in all these different counties and courts. Listen, before she finished with her official decision in that civil case, she opened up the statutory book to threaten me with a class 4 felony after I told her I would see her in federal court. This white woman. So when I talk about these Beckys, don't play. Another one who shall remain nameless. They tried to screw me over in another case related to Wall Street after I busted them on some illegalities that were going on, and they ruled against me without me ever having a hearing. But when it came down to them trying to screw me for nearly $70,000 because a judge ruled on what they called a summary judgment, I ain't got time to break that down for y'all. The legal folks that's in the building, y'all know Vicky talking like she got some sense. Y'all know that Vicky know what she talking about, don't you? Those of you that's actually been trained in law, y'all know I know what I'm talking about, don't you? Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. That judge tried to screw me too. But I had some work for her. And in that case, where I was going up against a top bank, they brought in all kinds of professional experts and witnesses. I had God and a legal pad, and that trial lasted a couple of days. I'm in a white supremacist county. I said Arapahoe, look it up in Colorado. I went through picking the entire jury by myself, opening arguments, going through all of the preliminary hearings that happened before we got there. And I studied that white woman judge that ended up presiding over my case with the white female attorney that was the lead attorney for the particular law firm that was representing the Wall Street case, and all of their long lines of experts. Listen, I was moving by the Spirit in everything I was doing. I was so powerful in choosing the jury that the lawyer for that law firm for Wall Street told the judge that I was intentionally getting rid of all the white men that was on the case. And I was sure getting rid of a whole bunch of Beckys because I was looking at a sheet of paper based on everything about the person. And I was just going based on what the Spirit said. And I chose profoundly, if I say so myself. Opening statements, did the whole 9 yards. The only thing that the jury came back with is they wanted me to pay for some little expert fee, expert expenses, but they didn't give them nothing else. And at the end, the white jurors told me that they weren't going to give them nothing at all, except for they had that one old white man that I left on the jury to appease the other side, who was threatening to mess up the whole case if they didn't give him something. So they said, we're going to tell her she's going to have to pay for the expenses for the experts that had to testify during this trial. But for the rest of it, they didn't give them a dime. That freaked everybody out. I didn't know at the time that that particular lawyer working for that high-level law firm on behalf of Wall Street was actually in touch with the FBI and sending them internal documents to shut me down. That was just one instance, and it got proof of it. Don't play with me. I've been in numerous civil courts where, because I was there without an attorney, asking important prophetic scriptures, I was flowing spiritually and didn't even know it. I was revealing secrets that was a no-no in the court of law because that stuff was getting on the record. These are unjust people. And they make you jump through a whole bunch of hoops because they never mean for you to be in the place of power. And their friends, the judges on the lower courts, trial courts, that's typically the lowest court. That's what you call your trial court. Then you have your appellate court. And then it depends on what state you're in. And it depends on whether or not you're bringing a state case or a federal case. And sometimes there are certain types of cases that's statewide. That's a state case that you can maybe take to the federal court if it's some sort of a federal statute or law that it has something to do with it. But don't forget that the federal courts are also courts of what they call limited jurisdiction. Like, for example, you're not going to go to a federal court for a divorce. There are only certain things that federal courts can deal with. Your sister by herself, when I sued a couple of judges, across from me was the attorney generals of the state that represented those federal judges. And before I went to one of the hearings, I was sitting in my office, my home office, and I heard on the outside of one of my ears, y'all who just deal with low level 3D living, you ain't gonna get this, so you may want to flip now. I'm almost done. I heard a messenger say in my ear, abeyance. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Give me 2 more minutes. Can you give me 2 more minutes? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I heard a messenger say in my ear the word abeyance. That was not a word I use in my conversation on a regular basis. I happened to look up that word. The word abeyance is a state of temporary disuse or suspension. In law, it's the position of being without or of waiting for an owner or claimant. In federal court, I was before a magistrate judge, and those individuals that were representing those judges that I was suing, because some of the judges were not acting within the capacity as a judge, they were acting in their personal capacity. So I was not suing them based on them being a judge. I was suing them because they were acting outside. They were acting in their personal capacity. And they had to take the case serious enough to get to that first part, even though ultimately they tried to kick it back down to the lower courts. The point is I was making noise and I was a problem for them. The word abeyance, no, Abeyance. Abeyance. Watch this. Guess what the magistrate judge asked me toward the end of that particular hearing? Miss Dillard, do you know what the word abeyance means? Y'all play too much. Somebody talk black to me. Somebody talk black to me. This little black girl sitting there by herself. That word had nothing to do with me preparing for this preliminary trial. I told you I heard a voice say outside my ear the word abeyance. I was sitting looking at my computer monitor and I looked it up. The moderator put the definition in the link. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Don't play with me. I told you, I'll tell you on a regular basis, my spirituality, my didactic style of teaching and the way I engage in the world, it ain't no point of reference, baby. I'm writing a new book. That's what made me dangerous. Without Vicky screaming or hollering, dressed to the nines when I showed up to court, showing mad respect. But I didn't know I was busting up stuff. I was exposing stuff. I didn't know that my spiritual team that came with me, God, today, was disturbing stuff. So when the judge says, Miss Dillard, Cole, do you know what the word abeyance means? I said, isn't that like a state of limbo, Your Honor, or something to that effect? Something similar to the definition that I just gave you about waiting for and in limbo. The judge immediately tried to blow it off, said, no. Well, yeah. The other side was looking at me like, oh my God. The judge used the word abeyance, which I told you legally means the position of being without or of waiting for. He was letting me know for that particular hearing, and based on the next status of the next part of this particular case, he was going to leave it in waiting for a moment. And this federal judge had the nerve to say, you know, you're very intelligent and you're very articulate and you're very this and I'm God heavy. I'm your mama. I'm holding court. And even notwithstanding all of the stuff that I went through after that, family, even when I was in the belly of the beast, some of the very top law firms. Mark my words and look it up on Denver Post. Some of the top law firms that were representing the Wall Street banks, some either shut down, reorganized, and many of them paid millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in settlements after they came under attorney general investigation from the state. Another one of the attorneys that I beat the brakes off of in a civil case ended up being a whistleblower on the law firm that she worked for. Sat down, not knowing all of what I was doing. They were laughing at me, making fun. Why am I bringing this up? Because I want you to know, Black family, that what angered these white women judges, white women prosecutors, white women agents, and white judges that I was before, they were angry with me because I did 3 things and I didn't even know it. Somebody talk black to me. I did 3 things. I was exposing the fraud of the court system because it had nothing to do with justice. I was humiliating the judges and the attorneys. By the way, those attorneys that go in and out of the court, they're known as officers of the court. I was humiliating them. I was exposing the system of justice, humiliating them. And guess what else I was doing and didn't even know it? Delegitimizing it. Those were civil cases. After I went through my unjust trial criminally, during my sentence that took place almost a year later after the conviction, because it took so long, one of the reasons it took long is because the government was lying and making up figures, and we were busting them every time they submitted something to the court. They kept being busted and exposed for their lies in cahoots with the bankers. Thumbs up, like and share. I'm about to go. When you enter the court, on the right side of the court is where the prosecution was. The left side, defendant, that's me. During my sentencing, the entire right side of the court, am I lying? The entire right side of the court was completely packed. They were packed with attorneys and officials from civil cases that represented the bankers and folk that also worked as governmental agents. Some of them took off from work. Some of them used their lunchtime to come see what would become of Vicky Dillard, also known as Crow at that time. And when your sister looked over and saw all of these lily white enemies sitting over there, looking forward to this white judge, female federal judge, to come back to let me know that I was looking at possibly 20 years, but gave me a sentence of 60 months and was happy to do it. I won't tell you what the judge said in other preliminary hearings before that. Stay tuned. They showed up to make sure that I was going to be locked up because I was giving them hell in other courts and exposing them without an attorney, without training, under threat, under pressure. I want you to know, Black family, that we have more power than what you know, and it ain't just your vote. Black family, we have the power to delegitimize American systems. Your participation in a thing is what gives it power and weight. I was a problem because I was getting attention in the newspapers. I was a problem because even if I didn't quote unquote win all of the cases, I was still a problem because I was making stuff public and there were public records, court records that were being made. I want you to know that you are powerful beyond measure. I want you to know that you better not back up, back down for our demand of reparations. And I want you to know the white folks' emergency with the court and these two sides of white supremacy that's just quibbling, yes, over white supremacy pet peeves. Each side has a certain kind of white supremacy pet peeve. That ain't got nothing to do with you. See, when you make your neighborhood safe and decent places to live, when you say, no, I'm going to teach my own, we finna do business with our own, and we finna do business also internationally with our own, you don't understand that you delegitimize the system and you expedite its wicked end when you withdraw from it. Let me tell you this final thing. The one variable, the one piece of the equation that folks are not considering when they try to scare you to death to tell you that they are appointing judges at young ages that can stay on the court for 30, 40, 50 years. Number one, I got some ideas. If the Democrats would do right by us, we could come up with all kinds of ideas that would help, even with some of the sitting federal judges right now, as well as the Supreme Court. Before you started hearing some of the people recently talk about adding more to the Supreme Court, I was talking about that last year. But let me tell you this. The thing that can never scare intelligent Black people is that America, you want to scare us, Democrats especially, into believing that they're going to have these judges on the court for 30, 40 years. And you have not calculated the fact that God has determined that the modern Babylon, mystery Babylon, Egypt, may not even exist by that time. And it's all related to your failure to do right by us. In the same way you're experiencing this plague of COVID that's affected so many areas, you ain't seen nothing yet. And because of your mistreatment of us, your calculation, the fall of America, it's written, and you've done nothing about repairing us to slow it down or to stop it. You can never make me afraid. This is my planet. You're the stranger on it. And while they're trying to scare you, Black family, to talk about their white judges and stuff that's on the courts, their statisticians and their demographers are telling you that America would be blackened out by that time. And just naturally, their birth rates are low. On its own, without us doing nothing to none of them. Y'all are expediting your time on our planet. I didn't reveal to you specific names legally. But don't play with me. I love you. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Black family, we're in our finest hour. Don't you dare be moved by fear. The future is ours. I said we're in our finest hour. And don't let nobody make you think you're not powerful beyond measure, that you're not important. And by the way, I'm just getting started. They ain't gonna be able to stop nothing. I was born for this. The idea of the court was started by the original people of the planet. Matters of justice and truth are the providence of gods. I love you back. FlyDubiaBusiness.com to start your business. Text Queens at 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications. We go live from time to time. God willing, I plan to meet you here tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, The Vicky Show. I look forward to seeing you. ClubVicky.com, ClubVicky.com for my weekly masterminds where I'm dropping a spiritual principle. I don't apologize, baby. I'm deployed to the planet for such a time as this. And we're in our winning season. All that I went through was for this moment, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Mwah.